Happy Thursday, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kane. It's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored, as always, by C3 Group, MERLIN Law Group, and American Contractor Show. Thank you guys for sponsoring all of our videos. So let's get right into our weather headlines. We do have Storm System Gabriella, and this is day one of her. Storms will be possible today from basically Texas all the way up to Nebraska. So we'll talk about the chances for those areas. And then getting into tomorrow, we could have a busy day. We could not have a busy day. And the question is, will the cap break? So tomorrow will be a day to watch for sure. And then getting into the weekend, it could potentially be a busy one from Saturday into Sunday, as well as into the beginning of the week. But you guys know how it rolls around here. Before we get into the forecast, let's talk about some upcoming events. The first one is right here at the Hill Palace on May 10th. This is the C3 Lunch and Learn. It's going to be held on the third floor of our building. So we'll have free food, and then it's going to be a lot of commercial stuff, I believe. So check this out. And then we also have on May 13th, the Contractor Blueprint Seminar at the River Oaks Golf Course here in Oklahoma City. I believe this is going to be, I think it's a free thing as well. Anyway, so more information is here as well right here in this graphic and hopefully on our Facebook pages. So make sure you check that out. So let's get right into our current conditions across the U.S. The eastern part of the U.S. is pretty quiet overall, plenty of sunshine, just a few high clouds in some places, some showers down in Florida. We do have some activity going on in the middle of the U.S., some showers and some storms moved through our region earlier this morning. Some heavier rain is pushing east of Tulsa right now, as well as parts of Missouri. We're going to head on north a little bit. More rain here from Iowa down into Illinois, as well as Missouri, and a few showers here in Nebraska and into parts of South Dakota. So taking a look at our temperatures, pretty nice for most of us. However, it's a little bit chilly in the north, only at 52 in New York City, 45 in Fort Wayne, 44 in Minneapolis. You go south, though, in the southern half of the U.S., we start to warm up by a good 20 plus degrees. At 69 in Kansas City right now, 73 in Dallas, and 80 in Houston. So for today's severe weather chance, we do have that warm air starting to move on to north, as well as the moisture, and we do have that instability in place. So here is our future radar. This is the HRRR, and I'm warning you right now, there may not be a whole lot, but you know, it's just one run of this one particular model. So this is right now, or at least maybe like a half hour from now, some showers right now moving on to the east, dry in Texas and in Oklahoma for the most part. And as we get into later on in the afternoon, you can see a lonely storm or two will be possible in the western parts of Texas. And as we get into the rest of the evening, you can see that storm starts to die off. So storms will be possible, but I don't think the coverage is going to be very much. It's going to be very isolated in nature. But if we can get a storm or two to pop up, we can get up to, it's going to be severe size hail. I'll get to more detailed information to you about the sizes in just a second. But then we get into the overnight here in the southern part of the risk, and really not a whole lot has changed. So again, it's going to be very isolated if we can get those storms to break through that cap. Now in the northern part of the risk, again, pretty quiet right now, but then as we get into the afternoon and get that heating of the day, you can see some activity starting to develop here in parts of western Wyoming. Get into later on in the evening, you can see some heavier showers and storms are possible in northern Wyoming, and then getting into the rest of the evening and into the overnight. Omaha, you can see a storm or two as we get, this is at 1 a.m. Central Time. So again, not a whole lot of coverage, at least at that moment. We could get some more storm development though as we get near daybreak. So this is at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's day 1 of Gabriella. Let's take a look at our sizes here for the hail. This is sponsored by See-Through Group. Thank you as always for sponsoring. So let's take a look here. Like I said, storm coverage is not going to be very much. It's going to be a very isolated chance. Hopefully we can get those storms to break through the cap, but if they are able to break through, we could see up to golf ball size hail from the panhandle of Texas southward, Odessa, all the way up to Woodward. You could have a chance to see up to golf ball size hail, and smaller sizes here from Wichita northward to Omaha up to $half size hail is possible for you guys. And where the low is situated, we could see up to golf ball size hail here in North Platte, Nebraska. So that is the hail. Let's take a look at the wind. Same areas as the hail chances here for the wind. Up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible from the panhandle of Texas northward to Woodward to Wichita, all the way up here to Omaha, westward to North Platte. I think North Platte, you have a pretty good shot today, as well as getting into the overnight hours to see some severe weather, both in terms of hail and wind. So that is for today. Let's look at tomorrow. This is at 12 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. We'll wake up. Some rain will be falling in Missouri. And I'm warning you right now, it's basically the same deal today. We have a really strong cap in place both today as well as into tomorrow. But conditions are favorable with the heat and humidity that if a storm can pop up, it's going to drop some pretty big hail. So this is at 6:30. You can see there's really nothing going on. And again, this is just one particular model, you guys. They are kind of differing right now. This is at 12:30 as you wake up Saturday morning, or sleeping, I guess you can say. Some storms are going to possibly form here in parts of Kansas down into Oklahoma. I can see some singular cells here. Again, it's all going to depend if we can get all that heat and humidity and stability to build up and break that cap. So this particular model is saying no way. Other models are maybe. It's cross your fingers. But we move up to the northern part of the risk tomorrow, we could see a better chance for storms. This is at 10:30 tomorrow. As we get into the afternoon, you can see some more activity will fire up. So again, North Platte, you have another chance to see severe weather tomorrow. And this is at 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. As we get into later on in the evening, that activity will move on to the east. Omaha at around 9 p.m. or so, you can get in on the severe weather. So it looks like the chances for severe weather will be, at least with this particular model, better here in the northern part. But like I said, if we can get that cap to break in the southern part of the risk, those storms are going to be quite potent. So it's something that we need to watch. And then getting into the evening and overnight hours, this system will track off to the east. Storms will be possible in Des Moines as well as southwestern Minnesota. By then, I think the severe weather chances will start to diminish. We have to see. As of right now, I'm not including these areas in the risk, but that can change, so stay tuned. Kansas City, you can get in on the action in the overnight hours Friday into Saturday morning as well. And then waking up on Saturday morning, that line will be moving off to the east. In Chicago, you can wake up to a few rumbles of thunder as you wake up on Saturday morning. So this is tomorrow's hail forecast, sponsored by MERLIN as for sponsoring. So here we go. It's a pretty big area that we will be watching. We are going to take a look at the southern part first. Here in Oklahoma City all the way up to Wichita, we could see some pretty large hail if the cap can break. There's still a lot of uncertainties. Like we just saw in that one particular model, it was not firing anything. Some other ones are trying to, but if we can get that cap to break, those storms are going to produce some very large hail, baseball size at least, from here, again, Oklahoma City northward to Wichita, And as we go eastward into Tulsa, we can see some severe hail as well, although it's not going to be as large. And then moving on to the north, Kansas City, Omaha, North Platte, you guys are in the risks as well to see large hail. So stay tuned. Hopefully, as we get into tomorrow morning, we can have some better ideas of what may occur with this system. Hopefully, we can get the cap to break for that. And then getting into the wind, same 60 to maybe even 70 mile per hour wind gusts are possible, especially in Nebraska where that low is situated. But at least 60 mile per hour gusts are possible from Tulsa, Oklahoma City, northward to Wichita, and a lesser chance in Kansas City as those storms will be reaching you in the overnight hours. We have to see how strong those storms stay. Same deal here in Omaha and North Platte. But yeah, 60 to maybe 70 mile per hour gusts are possible for those storms up here as they're closer to the low. So let's get into our future jet stream. This is sponsored by American Contractor Show. Thank you guys for sponsoring us. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we do have some ridging here in the middle of the country, but we do have some little wiggles here. This is right now at this time. So this is Gabriella. As we get into the rest of today and into tomorrow, she's going to start moving off to the east. And you can see as we get into tomorrow afternoon at noon, she's starting to get that negative tilt, which, like I've mentioned times before, when a storm system gets a negative tilt, that is a good sign for us in terms of severe weather potential as that air starts to sweep up around the low and gets that lift that we need. So tomorrow we do need to watch very carefully. And then getting into Saturday, Storm System Gabriella will move off to the east. We got to watch areas such as St. Louis, maybe as far east as Chicago, southward into parts of northern Arkansas. And then this system will move off to the east northeast as we get into Sunday. Here we go. We got another trough behind Gabriella. We got to watch this one as well as we get from Sunday and into Monday. This one starts to take a bit of a negative tilt as well. So a lot going on. Definitely over the next few days, we're finally starting to get into a more active pattern. So this is by 6 a.m. Tuesday. So Gabriella first, we got to focus on this one. And then this one, if we name the one behind Gabriella, that one will be Harry. But we're just focusing on Gabriella right now. So we're finally getting into a more active pattern. So before I get into the look ahead, this is our forecast dew points. We have a lot of moisture streaming on in. This is at 7 p.m. this evening. You can see that dry line here. So it's moist ahead of it and very dry behind it. Those clashing of the air masses will potentially fire off a few storms along it. And then getting into tomorrow evening, you can see even more moisture starts to sweep up. Look at the sharpness of that dry line. I really hope, I mean, it's going to be a strong cap tomorrow, you guys. But if it can break, I'm telling you, the hail's going to be pretty large in size. So just be ready here if you're Oklahoma. Just north of Dallas, it's going to be kind of close. But you know how Mother Nature rolls. She always likes to throw surprises at the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All the way up to Wichita and Omaha, you can see that sharpness as well. And then getting on into Saturday, that system moves on to the east. St. Louis, Chicago, parts of Arkansas, we got to watch you for Saturday. And then you can see as we get into Sunday, that moisture starts to come back up and we start to reset. So we have to watch parts of western Texas on Sunday. And right back here on Monday, again, another dry line setup, really unstable in terms of conditions possible here on Monday, all the way down to, yes, Dallas. Dallas, we have to watch you guys on Monday as well. So, and then that will be moving off to the east on Tuesday. So here's our look ahead. This is for Saturday. Basically, like I mentioned, Chicago all the way down to St. Louis, eastward to Indianapolis, southward to just north of Memphis. This is the risk area for Saturday. This will be I guess, day 3 of Gabriella. And then getting into Sunday, the risk moves back to Texas, Lubbock, down to San Angelo. You guys can see the potential for severe weather on Sunday. And then getting into Monday, right back here in Oklahoma City, all the way down to Dallas, eastward to maybe as far as southwestern Arkansas for Monday. So it's going to be a very potentially busy next few days here at the Hail Palace for sure. Finally, right? I know we've been lacking in terms of storm activity, so hopefully we can get some this weekend. For today, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as our new TikTok page. It's always a lot of fun to make videos on that one. And if you have any questions, concerns, if you just want to say hi, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday.